This is the commercial.
God hates stinginess.
I
don't believe in pride, but to share money for pride. I don't depend on prophecy, I just pray to my God. Always believe in trying, not to say the truth and lie. Always do my best, and leave the rest to God. My fellow Nigerians, stingy presidency. I tell you, it's better than those that will steal and waste our currency. While I'm back and you know, stingy presidency. I tell you, it's better than those that will steal and waste our currency. I don't tell you, but one thing you better pass on when the California back and money go the waste to. My papa advised me, like I do politics in honest.
So, please, if you are joining, help share this broadcast. Let's get where we gather here. Let's gather here, man.
I know they promise anything where my power no reach. My yes is my yes.
My no is my no.
I know they make it younger. I'm a simple man.
Oh yes, Kalebo Kafo, I see you, my brother. Thank you very much for joining. Please share this broadcast, man. Oh yeah, man. I mean, we share the broadcast. Don't share the broadcast. I just want to do a sharp. You know, wanna help me enjoy this music, man? As we share them, let's share, let's enjoy the music, man. This Peter Obi on the move. Yeah, man. Ambassador Iho the race. We go find out what they send the music now. The music makes sense, that I tell you. It makes sense, that. Yeah, man. Princess Usagwe Movon, thank you for joining. Yes, Chukudi Avuro, God bless you, my friend. Good morning to you. Oh yeah, man. Good afternoon, Princess Usagwe. God bless you. Please, let's share the broadcast. Let's get the numbers here. So we update ourselves sharp. The show must go on. We are obedient. So, anyhow, yes. Greetings to you all Nigerians across the world. Please, if you are joining, help share this broadcast. Let's get some numbers together so that we can, just do this update sharp. I'm just about driving and I thought that I just dropped this here. Yes, thank you very much for joining. Help share the broadcast. Let's, get some numbers together. Okay. Some developments. Okay. A number of persons have actually called me since I couldn't take some course last night because I was at work. I started, getting back to some people today. Wanted to know exactly what the state of, the presidency is, particularly with Labour Party and Peter Obi's running mate. I did put something out on the Comrade Show Facebook page. Yesterday was actually the last day, giving the window given by INEC that parties should submit the names of running mates to their, major candidates and all of that. And so, yesterday, Dr. Okube's name, who is equally the campaign, director of, incoming President Obi, the name was submitted, okay, as a placeholder. Some people may not understand the meaning of the placeholder. It meant that, the arrangement being made by Labour and of course the Peter Obi team, they were unable to conclude that arrangement before the deadline of, around 23:59 last night. I mean, this past Friday. And so what they had to do to meet up with the deadline was to submit somebody's name. Okay, and the person's name will go into INEC record as a running mate. The good thing about it is that, in the Electoral Act and of course, everything, there's a window equally open, given a period of time for parties to make any change. Okay, even the major candidates can even be changed by the party. You understand the picture of what I'm saying? And so there's a window for change. And so Okukbe's name that was submitted, Okukbe is not going to be the running mate of Peter Obi. I am sure that the Peter Obi's team and of course Labour Party, they are trying to build a very strong consensus in the north. We are aware of that, and they are trying to get a strong candidate from the north to run with Peter Obi as the running mate of Peter Gregory Obi. As soon as they get that deal struck, they will go to INEC and remove Okukbe's name and replace it with that person's name and all of that. So nothing really has changed. It's just to allow Labour Party and of course Peter Obi to get everything in order. Earlier today, I was talking to a Labour stalwart in Edo State, and the man told me something, and I thought it made sense. He said, what is happening right now to the Labour Party was not prepared for it. The Labour Party in the last election, they didn't even get up to 10,000 votes. Okay, so they were not ready. They didn't know that it was going to happen. Somehow destiny is just thrusting this in the Labour Party. So the Labour Party actually didn't have all of those pillars in place. Now that this has come, Labour Party is now running to ensure that but the good thing is this: so many big politicians right now are defecting to Labour. So many. As a matter of fact, in Edo State, a service senator, has already defected to Labour. As a matter of fact, the service senator in question right now is running, for a Senate seat under Labour. Many of the people who are disenchanted in APC, disenchanted in PDP across the nation, they are going to find their way into this Labour. Now, what is making the change in Labour is Peter Obi. So the structure you see that Labour is building right now, to be very honest, we can effectively call it a Peter Obi structure. A Peter Obi structure. Somebody called me a couple of days ago, and the person was gracious. He gave me the phone number of the National Secretary of the Labour Party, whom I'm in touch with, giving the person information, because somebody reached out to me, wrote me a very long letter from Taraba State, and the person told me that for students, for people who have access to internet, those who watch television, TV and all of that, that Peter Obi is a household name with those people. They want Peter Obi. However, right on the street, Labour is not on the ground. And so the person was writing me to assist them to begin to put major structures across Taraba State. And of course, I think that will apply to very many parts of the northern states. And these are the things that Labour is going to do. And so this information I have transmitted, to the contact of the Labour, stalwarts, across the nation that people already have their contact and all of that. The reason is because it's important, that it's inevitable that for this movement of Peter Obi, which is the biggest political movement right now in Nigeria, that the presence of incoming President Peter Obi will be felt in all parts of the country. I can tell you today that if this election holds today, Peter Obi will win the southern part of Nigeria without doubt. Without doubt. I am very, very confident of that. That so far, what this movement has achieved, is enough already to guarantee victory for Peter Obi in the southern part of Nigeria. Now, we cannot exactly say the same of the northern part of Nigeria, but what we are glad about, what we are happy about, is that from the measurement we are getting from the north, Peter Obi's movement is already growing, seriously in the north. And there's something I'm going to say that should give a lot of us hope, that those of us who are prayerful should pray about, whatever we can. There is this man called Kwankwanso in what's it called, in Kano, in the northern part of Nigeria. He is on ground, and he's one of such big persons that the entire Labour structure, the Peter Obi team, they are trying to work with, to see if he could consider being a running mate to Peter Obi. He himself has come out on national television to confirm that yes, his own party, the NNPP, and the Labour Party, they are already discussing, you know, the possibility of having an alliance. What's it called? Dr. Kukbe, the director of Peter Obi's, you know, campaign team, came out, you know, to equally let the world know that there is a grand arrangement to have the biggest coalition, okay, with Labour and some other political parties in the history of this country. Now, my joy with this, if it can happen, is that this coalition would be a coalition that is headed by incoming President Peter Obi. Now, because whether we like it or not, the influence of the leader of a political party, okay, or a leader, you know, of government on the entire sphere, it cannot be overemphasized. Now, the beauty of this is that and I'm not trying to just to deviate at all, but with the drama that played out with Mbaka, we could understand that Peter Obi is a man of his words. He's a man who does not play to emotions. He's a man who does not concede to praise singing. He does things out of conviction. He does things looking at the purpose behind what he's doing. He does things. And so the body language of Peter Obi, the way of life of Peter Obi, is sure to influence everybody working with him. Which means that we are not just looking to elect a leader, we are looking to elect a leader who will reset the entire political fabric of the nation, who will reset the entire mind of the people, who will reset the entire system of the people. And this is the most crucial. So this is why when somebody told me that we are not campaigning to elect Peter Obi, but we are campaigning to elect ourselves, it made a whole lot of sense to me. Okay, this is why we have to be faithful. I could see some people since yesterday, they've been posting some things trying to mock the situation. Oh, Peter Obi, you know, has not been able to come up with a running mate, blah 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 blah. And I just laugh. I laugh because when nature and God, you know, is looking to change a direction, it does not follow normal regular pattern. You know, it was my response I gave to somebody yesterday who called it, was it yesterday or this morning, who was telling me that, oh man, Labour does not have senators, Labour does not have House of Rep members, Labour does not have governors. How can we be sure that Peter Obi is going to win? And I laughed. And I told him that when this Fourth Republic began, none of the parties that contested in that election had governors, had senators, had this and had that, okay? But eventually they came. Now the good thing, as we speak right now, we can almost affirm right now, at least in Edo State, that we have a serving senator who is a member of Labour right now. As a matter of fact, they had a meeting yesterday. The world leaders, you know, across, you know, some of the local governments met yesterday, and they told some of these, they told this senator and some other people that they must be ready to fund the party, you know, going forward and all of that. And we are going to equally support them with our 1,000 naira, our 200 naira, our 500 naira, and all of that. This is what makes this different. This is what makes this process unique, because the process itself is very organic. Those world leaders that met yesterday, I spoke with the chairman of the local government, who is very close to me, and I asked him who is funding them. He said nobody. Even some ugly politicians in those states that Edo people, you know, don't like, you know, majorly. They are trying to come and infiltrate the Labour with their money. They are rejected. They are kept, you know, at the doormat. They've told the state chairman of Labour to say, man, look, these kind of people, we don't want to associate with them as far as this party is concerned. Everybody is just willing to make that sacrifice. People are donating their houses in Edo State. And there's a reason I'm mentioning Edo State. They are donating their houses in Edo State for as Labour, you know, offices and all of that. The place they are holding meetings right now, where Labour is holding meetings, a hotel they are holding meeting is donated free of charge. Because for once, this nation has risen to that level where people now say, man, look, we are no longer interested in those bags of beans and, you know, packages of assault and this and that. We now want, you know, our nation to be built around a purpose that somebody embodies, and that is Peter Gregory Obi. So the issue of having not yet submitted a substantive, what's it called, running mate, is not a problem at all. The man and the Labour Party, Peter Obi and Labour Party, they are very much in line. The name they are submitted right now, Okukbe, okay, is a placeholder. What the Benin call a dayi in the day first, just to make sure, say, you know, because if they had not submitted a name as at yesterday, Peter Obi would have ceased to be a candidate in this election. And that is the truth of the matter. So they need to submit a name. And the window equally allows them to change this name anytime, I mean, within a period of time, within which we are hoping that, you know, the grand arrangement, you know, between, you know, the Labour Party, Peter Obi, and of course, a notable person in the north would have been done. And when that is done, signed, sealed, and delivered, and the name of that person replaces Okukbe, believe me, that is it. And for a few persons that have been writing me, asking me, what is the strategy? What is this? What is that? Please share this broadcast. It's very important because I'm trying to give some information here that will be beneficial to a lot of people. For now, from our own stable of the Comrade Show, and of course from our own group, if you have not yet joined our group, you know, the Nigerian People's Vanguard for Peter Obi, that group is growing. Go and join the group. We are not members of the Labour Party. Like I told the chairman, Edo State chairman, you know, of Labour, I'm not a member of Labour Party. I'm not a chairman of any political party. I'm not interested to join any political party. I am an independent supporter of this process. And so, with my team, we are not political party members. We are willing, okay, to support whatever structure, create whatever structure, independent of the Labour Party, to get this done. Okay, but my affinity with Edo State is very strong because that's where a state I'm from. I'm coming to address Edo State matter because some matters are just boiling over in Edo State, and I'm coming to, you know, to try to address that matter. So for now, when these guys ask me, people have asked me, what is the strategy? What is strategy? What I've told them is that for now, we are fully concentrating on the idea of people getting their PVCs. As we speak, the issue of PVC, like as it was muted some time ago, it was, you know, circulated by some people. What's it called? The date has not yet been extended. PVC is still going to, the window is still till on the 30th of this month, which means that we have just just a little over a week. So right now, that is where the pressure is. Let us go for our PVCs. We have equally found that from our own private findings that there may be some people in the south who have had PVCs previously, and they have gone again to go and, you know, capture again from that PVC. Now, this is a project that is capable of rendering everything invalid, okay? Because the INEC cannot have, you know, 2 records of 1 person in their database, okay? So I want to appeal to you, if you already have had your PVC, if you have had it previously, probably some years ago, and you have gone again to go and capture, please report back to INEC with the 2 PVCs you have. Let them cancel the new one so that the old one can be, because at the end of the day, if you have 2 PVCs and you go ahead and vote, your vote will be invalid. That's the information we have. You understand what I'm saying? Now, so I want to appeal to all of us. If you know you have had PVC before, don't bother to go and do PVC again. If you not get before, that is when you have never had a PVC. That is when, and again, if you have had a PVC before, register to a particular area, and you no longer live in that particular area, you have moved to a different place where you are looking to vote, please take your PVC to them so that they will update it for you. That you are no longer living in Isolo, you are not living in Lekki, or you are no longer living in Lagos, you are not living in Anambra, or you are no longer living in Imo, you are not living in Kanu. So they update it, okay, and situate it where you can vote. Because if you are registered to vote in Anambra, you cannot use that PVC to go and vote in Lagos. Please, want to share this broadcast. It's very important. I'm just trying to push out some information where they important so that we do not have too many, you know, votes that will be invalidated. You understand what I'm saying now? So the strategy for us for this month is to push strongly that more people should go and get their PVCs. That is the primary strategy for now, okay? From next month, because officially, campaign is going to kickstart in August, okay? And we are hoping by the grace of God that all of these things would have been settled. Even the worry about, northern part of Nigeria, structures will come, okay, established, and we will run with them. You understand? We have, by the grace of God, between now and December, to crystallize so many things and all of that. All of us. I talk we because this matter, like many of you know, is very personal to me. I have maintained, I don't know Peter Obi from Adam, but I believe in this process. I believe in Peter Obi, and I believe that this is our chance, you know, to give birth to a new Nigeria that we can be proud of. And this is why I'm keen about this. And I want to say this publicly. I have a personal commitment. I don't know of others, but I have a personal commitment to win Edo State for Peter Obi. Personally, I have that commitment to win Edo State for Peter Obi. So my only work now is to start looking for people. I have found a number of them. In fact, I have found an army of them who are willing to collaborate with me to win Edo State for Peter Obi. So from next month, I'm going to start looking for people who are going to, you know, baptize themselves into the commitment to win Kano State for Peter Obi, to win Lagos State for Peter Obi, to win, Kaduna State for Peter Obi, to win Imo State for Peter Obi, to win Delta State for Peter Obi, to win Oyo State for Peter Obi, to win Ondo State for Peter Obi, to win. I'm going to start looking for independents who would be willing to commit themselves to win their states for Peter Obi. That by the time we get these states, you know, leaders, no matter how many there are, through them we start looking for those who will commit themselves to win their local government, those to win their units, those to win their wards, those to win their. So that will be the strategy going ahead. But this strategy, you know, holistically will be unveiled from next month. By the time we are sure that, okay, the window of PVC, you know, has closed. But for now, our strategy is to ensure that more people get their PVCs in hand. And even as we are getting the PVCs, please let's make sure that we are not, you know, already putting ourselves at a disadvantaged position, because we don't want to see too many PVCs invalidated. Like I just explained now, okay, if you live in one area before where you have your PVC and you are looking to go somewhere else, go and update it. You don't need a new one. What you need is an update. If you were Mr. before, if you were a Miss before and you are not Mrs., you want to update it, go and update. You don't need a new one. Just go to INEC and update it, and that's what you need to do. Okay? If something has changed, whatever has changed, if you have had a PVC before, you don't need a new one. You just need to update it. There is still time to do so that we have more people carrying valid PVCs. This is very important. You understand? I mean, it's unfortunate that I didn't gather all this information earlier. You understand? That's why I'm just starting to talk about it right now. But it's not too late, you know, to seek a newer word as far as this matter is concerned. Okay? So this is the arrangement. So we are waiting. My prayer, earnestly, is that Peter Obi and his team, they get it right, give us a formidable running mate from the northern part of Nigeria, and you know, then when that is done, then we are ready. In the meantime, I want to really congratulate those, even though officially election campaign has not started, there are those that have been organizing small rallies here and there, bringing more people into the fold and all of that. Look, man, you guys, you are all heroes in this process, because whatever sacrifice we are all making right now is a sacrifice for ourselves, for our children and our children's children. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I don't live in Nigeria, but I am as concerned as anybody as far as this matter is concerned. You understand what I'm saying now? Because our lives and our future depends hugely on it. You understand? You know, I've had to contend with family members who are saying, man, look, what is your own? Stay away from politics and all of that. You know, and many of them are not seeing reasons why, okay, you know, and some of them right now have become, you know, labor leaders right now, even in those states. You understand what I'm saying now? Some cousins who initially were like, oh boy, take this easy, they have now, you know, been baptized into this process. I made sure of that. And so it is what we must do. Convert our friends, convert our foes, knock on doors. I see some people right now already in buses, you know, preaching the good news of this movement, even in buses. I see church pastors saying, man, people cannot come to church unless they have their PVCs. And the only reason why this is happening is because they are looking to vote for Peter Gregory Obi. So there's so much hope in this process that we cannot afford not to be part of it. Not to be part of it, you know, it's a sin. You understand what I'm saying now? It's a sin against yourself and against Nigeria. Because looking at what we have been through, okay, and where we are right now, the window of opportunity we have right now is one that we cannot miss, as a matter of fact. And this is why I'm making this broadcast. First, to assure us that Labour Party and Peter Obi, they are on course. And I'm believing very strongly that whatever we are seeing right now is probably supernaturally designed, okay, to make this party and Peter Obi come up with the best that will be acceptable to all Nigerians. That at the end of the day, in fact, it will be irresistible when one of the leaders of Labour Party in Edo State, you know, I was telling the leader, I said, I have as a personal commitment that we get a lot of people in Edo State to embrace the Labour movement, to embrace Peter Obi, so that it will be so palpable, it will be so strong that nobody else can campaign for any other candidate apart from Peter Obi. That the only pride any Nigerian can have is to proudly come out and say, I am obedient. Anybody saying any other thing will look like an outcast. And he told me, he said they themselves are already looking, trying to imagine how will other political parties even say they want to organize a rally in Edo State. Because right now, every young person is involved in this process. I have some volunteers in Edo State. Oh, I mean, I have some private things I am doing. I mean, a lot of people know, people who follow me know. You understand what I'm saying? I have tens of out-of-school children in Edo State that, you know, I am sponsoring in schools and all of that. And I have my volunteers working with them. I mean, as we speak right now, we are just paying school fees around for the children, because they are primary school children, you know, tens of them, you know. So we are paying fees for them to ensure that we keep them in school and all of that. So I had some challenge my volunteers, you know, some days ago, and I just wanted to psych them up because they know where I stand. And I'm like, whom are you guys supporting in this election? They are young people. Some of them are some of them are just over 18, 19 and all of that. And say, comrade, we are obedient to, we have been obedient and all of that. So the wave of obedience in Edo State, I have measured it. It's unstoppable. Now this brings me to Edo State. As we speak, I see a number of Edo youths trying to, you know, punch holes as they think they are doing in the Peter Obi's, you know, movement. Some are campaigning for Atiku, some are campaigning for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And I know they are meeting with serious resistance. You know, many of them happen to be people who campaigned for Governor Obaseki in the second term. And so they are trying to blackmail Edo State people to say that Okowa is from Delta State, a neighboring state to Edo State, a sister state to Edo State. Some of them have tagged him, he's a Bendelite, you know. And so Edo people must support their own. I mean, I'm going to speak to this because somebody has confronted me. The person who confronted me is working, is employed under the governor of Edo State. And I told the person, I said, if not that, I want to allow my wisdom to go ahead of me. I would record your conversation, put your picture on that conversation, and I come to social media and talk about it and discredit you seriously. But I'm not going to do that. And I've told myself that as much as possible, as far as this process is concerned, I'm not gonna make enemy at all. I will always push my points ahead. I'm not gonna make enemy with anybody. You understand what I'm saying now? But my points, I'm not gonna allow anybody's points, okay, be over and above mine. My points will eventually, you know, be the one that will be heard. So now this human being came because, I mean, this human being was part of the whole arrangement when we were campaigning for Governor Obaseki and all of that. So he came and was like, man, Okowa is the running mate of Atiku Abubakar. How can I still be talking about Peter Obi? Why can't I talk about my own? This is our own brother, blah, 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 blah. This person I'm talking about right now is a graduate from university, a young person like myself. I felt so disappointed. I felt so ashamed. He spoke for probably up to 10 to 15 minutes. I felt so ashamed because these are the same rhetoric, the same narrative that has kept us here. The whole idea that this is my brother, this is my sister. So even if everything is bad, provided that my brother did that and my sister did that, it doesn't matter. Now, I am saying this because I want to encourage Edo State people very strongly that Edo State must be for Peter Gregory Obi. If Okowa is my brother, Okowa is not more my brother than Peter Obi. Okowa is not more my brother than Atiku Abubakar. Okowa is not more my brother than what's his name, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Okowa is not more my brother than Kwankwaso. Okowa is not more my brother than Governor Obaseki. As far as this Nigerian project is concerned. But the difference between Okowa, Atiku, and all of these people is that I found in a man the possibility of changing the entire national narrative of Nigerian state. Now, it doesn't matter to me whether this man is an Igbo man. It doesn't matter whether it's a Calabar man. It doesn't matter whether this man is an Hausa man. It doesn't matter whether this man is this or that. What matters is that this man is a Nigerian. And we are discussing a Nigerian political process. And this man has the capacity to deliver on good governance. So far since the beginning of this Fourth Republic, the best president we ever saw was not an Igbo man, was not a Yoruba man, was not anybody, but he was an Hausa man. President Yaradua. Yaradua was the, in fact, if Yaradua had not died, I am very sure, convinced beyond reasonable doubt, that the fortunes of this nation would not have been this bad. The death of Yaradua created that vacuum that proliferated the entire political culture and remained this corruption. That man is not a Benin man. That man was a good Nigerian who came and saw that service for the glory of service is most important. So what I see, what I saw distinctly with Yaradua when the man was dead, it's a lot more that I see in Peter Gregory Obi. So when somebody comes out here and try to tell me, oh, I should jettison this, and I told the person, I'm saying this, you know, people who know me, you know, a lot of people right now, because they don't have any agreement with the governor of Edo State, people come to my page and insult me because of Governor Obaseki, because there are certain areas, you know, of operations that they don't like about the governor. Some blame me that I'm the person who made Governor Obaseki win, which is not true. A lot of people work to make that happen, but I was this vocal. So I'm vocal with Peter B right now. Same with so many other people. So I cannot take that glory, but I contributed. You know, so people blame me today. Some insult me, some do all sort of shit, but I'm not bothered, I'm not perturbed, you understand, and all of that. But Some people have even called me to accuse me I'm a member of PDP. And I'm sure probably by now they would have been understanding that I'm not a member of any political party and all of that. But in 2020, we came out, we supported Governor Obaseki because we believe very strongly that Governor Obaseki, given what he has, and as I'm saying now, in his manifesto, was best positioned amongst all the candidates to reposition Edo State by way of governance. Even today, I've spoken about something about the governor of Edo State, that there are aspects of the governor which I am not very much at home with, okay, and all of that. But on the issue of governance, delivering governance to the people of Edo State, the reason why I supported him, the reason why I mobilized for him, the reason why I knocked on doors for him, the reason why I became friends and enemies with people for the governor of Edo State was for him to deliver on the on good governance. And I can say that the man is doing relatively okay. We have not started our assessment process holistically, but it's doing okay. But on the issue of maybe his own personal relationship with other people, institutions of the state and all of that, I'm probably not very happy with the way it's being managed. But that's a story for another day, which I don't even wish to go into right now, because the focus right now is bigger than Obaseki. It's bigger than Edo State. And this is the truth of the matter. And that is where my direction is right now. But I told the person that you see my affinity with the governor of Edo State, a very strong affinity. Okay, but that affinity, the social contract I have with the governor of Edo State, is to the extent to which governance is delivered to Edo State people. That is it. I said, if Governor Obaseki was today nominated or selected by the PDP to be the running mate of Atiku Abubakar, I will be campaigning against him. I will be campaigning against him. I want to say, repeat again, if it was Governor Obaseki who was chosen by Atiku Abubakar to be his running mate, I, Comrade Lantek Mousa Oriahi, will be campaigning vigorously against him. So if I can do that, if my mind is set on that, where my own governor, a man that I supported to become governor like many others did, if I can have that resolve in my mind, who is Governor Okowa? That I will now motivate my conscience to say, because Governor Okowa is from Delta State, and Delta State is a sister state to Edo State, then it doesn't matter, nothing matters anymore. Now, for Edo young people who are into this kind of thinking and trying to convince others about it, I want to appeal to my Edo State people. And I'm appealing with an example. Osinbanjo is from the western part of Nigeria, whether from Ogun State or so, I can't remember precisely. I probably believe very strongly that many people in his own state, in the west, voted for Buhari because of Osinbanjo. At the end of the day, 7 years to 8 years, what impact has Osinbanjo on Nigeria? We can count the impact of Buhari, who is the head of the ticket. Osinbanjo has even come out to say he wanted to continue where the president of Nigeria stopped, where Buhari stopped. He put praises on his own master. And I tell you this, Edo people, what you are going to see, if, God forbid, though, if it is that Atiku is the one who is given chance to lead this country as president, you are not going to see the voice or the impact of Okowa. The impact, the person's vision and impact you are going to see is that of Atiku. So my support right now, nobody should cajole me or cajole Edo people to say support Atiku because of Okowa. For what? People will support Osinbanjo, support Buhari because of Osinbanjo. What have they gotten from Osinbanjo? If we made that mistake, that is the question we're going to be asking ourselves in another 7 years. What impact has Okowa as vice to Atiku? What impact would it be to the people of Nigeria? Absolutely none. Absolutely none. The closest impact you can get, based on the history, the antecedents, the everything, the closest impact you can get is that they will become richer. Their friends will be richer. They will become more oppressive. So when I look at the array of young people in Edo State now, some of them, voiceless few people who are trying to campaign to say, oh, Okowa, they are singing the place of Okowa, blah, 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 you know, and all of that. I looked at them. There is something very synonymous with all of them. They are all working for the president governor of Edo State or the government of Edo State. In one capacity or the other, they are affiliates of the government of Edo State. And so therefore, they don't have a voice of their own. What you see them, what you hear them echo is the position of the government of Edo State. That's what you hear them echo. The governor of Edo State is a PDP man. You will not expect him to start campaigning for another person and all of that, but to campaign for his own party. Some of these young people too, by virtue of the fact that they are working for the government of Edo State as personal assistants, as special advisors, as commissioners, as whatever, or they have indirect employment with the state, what you see them echo is they will echo the position of the leaders of the government. In the depth of their own heart, they know that this is not what is best for Nigeria. But they want to save that 40,000 naira that comes to them monthly, that 50,000 that comes to them monthly, that 100,000 that comes to them monthly. They want to save that. So they cannot be seen to be campaigning for somebody else who is not a PDP member. That's what you see. Unfortunately, my own economy is not determined by Edo State economy. Fortunately for them. Fortunately for me, my life is not predicated on the stipends that come from Edo State. I am not owing Edo State government, anybody in Edo State government. As a matter of fact, they are the ones owing me. I have spent too much for them, to be very honest. Too much of my personal resources. If it was what I have spent, I sat there, I sat there, tried to make calculations. What I spent privately to support Governor Obaseki to become governor of Edo State, man, I can't ask myself, how did this happen? How did this happen? But without regret, because it was a cause I believed in. So everything about me was invested into that cause. So I am an independent mind who is free to speak from my conviction. So that as I sit here, as I talk to you guys right here, I am speaking from the very depth of my conviction. Having looked at Nigeria since I became an adult, look at where we are, from where we are coming from. I tell you that we cannot afford to miss this chance. We can't. Vicky Overcomer, thank you very much. You just send us stars, 50 stars. Thank you, man. God bless you. You know, look, man, you guys don't want to see the support us with stars, so we need them. We need them. But if we put all of them together, it will be up to something. We can use it to send somebody some transport fare, add joint transport, make somebody go do something and all of that. Because whether we like it or not, we will not. Our support will not be based on our mouth alone. We are going to put our money where our mouth is. I already belong to a group, a WhatsApp group, where people have not donated, where people are already donating $1,000 to support the Obi movement. People are already donating $1,000. May I not get $1,000 to donate, but I know that I'm going to make my own donation, you know, as soon as the coast is clear for me. So, my people, Edo State people, I want to appeal to you. I want to appeal to you. Everybody, I want to appeal to you. Oliver, thank you very much. You sent us some of these 5 stars. God bless you. It will count for something. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. I want to appeal to Edo State people. I said earlier, I have a personal commitment. I don't know what is going to happen in other places, but Peter Gregory Obi and the Labour Party will be sure that we will win Edo State for Peter Obi. Livingstone, thank you very much. Now do well, no sisters, just falling, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, man. Livingstone, so you have sent us 20 stars, 200 stars. God bless you, man. You know, Vicky, thank you. You know, so like I was saying, that commitment is unwavering. It doesn't matter where anybody stands in Edo State. But my joy is that I already have an army of supporters in Edo State If I open my own message box for you, if you see the DMs I have, as they are all writing and pledging their commitment, I have a note and I'm writing their names and their contacts. I'm writing their names and their contacts because that time people have called me, people have donated their house. I have called the chairman of Edo State Labour, directed numbers of people to him. People have written me to say they want to use their houses as meeting grounds. People have called me that they want to brand their cars, Peter Obi, in Edo State. John Leo, thank you for the stars, my brother. Don Echo, thank you very much for the stars. It will account for something. People have called to do that. So, for the first time, we are not looking at a movement that will be bankroled by one individual, but we are all looking at what we can do to bankroll this movement because we believe very much in the future of this country. So, whether anybody is this or that, or you know what I'm saying now, I can assure Nigerians, the Peter Obi movement, come rain, come sun. Sunday, Ogwebo, thank you very much for the stars. Come rain, come sun. Edo State is for Peter Obi. Okowa is from Delta State, and I cannot assure you that Peter Gregory Obi is going to win Delta State. You don't get how they want to do one. Because the ordinary people, the young people, they are going to determine what happens in this election. These young people, they are the ones suffering the brunt of the kind of leadership we have currently. Solomon Sunday, God bless you, man, for the stars. May God bless, man. These young people, they are the ones who own the key and all the keys to this matter. Delta State young people will tell you that Okowa has been governor right now for nearly 8 years. Many of them will still tell you the lamentations that they are going through in Delta State. So don't tell me that Okowa is my brother. Okowa is no more my brother than Peter Obi. He's no more my brother than you yourself talking. He's no more my brother than any other person. But there's a project, a Nigerian project that we must save. This is my own inkling. Governor Obaseki was floated by so many to say, oh man, it may be the choice for Peter Gregory Obi. He wasn't going to, for Atiku Abubakar, he wasn't going to change anything for me. At the time I supported Governor Obaseki, it was my conviction at that time that this man is the right man to be governor of Edo State. Right now, it is my conviction that Atiku is not the right person to be president of Nigeria. So even if Atiku go heaven, go carry a Gabriel, carry Jambori, carry Jamaica, put for left side, Atiku will not be president of Nigeria. The man that will be president of Nigeria, we have seen. The man that will be right for Nigeria, we have seen. Ben Onaiwo, thank you very much, man. Thank you so very much for the stars. We have seen, and that person is Peter Gregory Obi. So let's not paint it anyhow. You know, get what it paint time. I am saying this because I have a lot of Edo State people, young people that I want to encourage. I have a lot of Edo State people that have been calling me from America, from Canada, from me. They are happy that we are doing this for Peter Obi. They are happy that we have a chance to redeem our nation. People that had already given up. One old man called me from, I don't know him, but he told me he's a grandfather. His voice sounded really elderly. He said he's been in the UK for more than 40 years. And at the last time he went to Nigeria was over 10 years ago. He had told himself he was never going to go to Nigeria again. He told me a lot of things and all of that. He was trying to encourage me, was happy with what we are doing. But my joy is that this man who had said, man, he won't die for abroad, he even don't get life insurance, every other thing. This man is resolved. He's resolved to say, if Peter Obi become president, he's sure if he's still alive, he will go back to Nigeria for at least. So when you look at the hope already being generated by the candidacy of Peter Gregory Obi, you question the rationale that people have now, young people like myself, to say we are voting for Atiku. Even if You are working for Edo State government and you are being paid XYZ amount of money. Looking at what we have suffered collectively. In 2 years, Governor Obaseki will no longer be governor of Edo State. Some of you right now who are PAs, who are this, who are those, you may be nowhere. It may just be another person will just come and take over governance in Edo State. What happens? What happens? Clinton Ataje, God bless you, man, for the stars. What happens? What would you say you have done with this time that God has given all of us now to make a statement? I'm going to be speaking more to this because we will be in charge of Edo State. Peter Obi will win Edo State. You don't get anything more anybody want to do about town. We are not just talking because we are talking with efforts and with too many evidence abound anyhow. I have made a case and I've said, look, for my own I cannot in good conscience begin to talk about PDP or APC. These are not even, somebody said they are not even twins. They're just one and the same. One and the same. And given the opportunity they've had since 1990 date, where can we really situate Nigeria? Zubi Ekesin, thank you very much, my friend. God bless you, man. Where can we situate Nigeria? We are seeing a man who is a clear departure from the old order. I mean, look at this man who came to Mbaka, who came to embarrass himself. Everything he did now, look at what. I mean, I read the story of what's her name, Her Excellency Ambassador Bianca Ojukwu. Nonso Nombe, thank you very much for the stars. God bless, man. Mona send stars, man, stand up stars. I read the testimony. Peter Obi was talking about. I mean, when I get to my studio and do any broadcast, I will play some of those videos. Peter Obi was talking. He said he's got just 2 shoes because what he knows say shoes there for that to protect legs. So you know they go for any fancy thing. Mary, thank you very much. Yes, Mary, thank you for the stars. God bless you, man. Mary, thank you. That one, my own sister from Edo State. So if you are from Edo State, wanna take this matter serious, eh? We know they play. We know they play at all. But the boss are not smiling. I read the account of Bianca Ojukwu on Peter Obi, a man who refused 3,000 worth of suit. He rather opted for a 200 pound worth of suit. But thank you very much. This same man donated something another 3,000 to help the needy, the less privileged, to help people stay in school, to give scholarship. He opted to say, for me to wear, go see sleep. For me to wear suit of 3,000, I go back 200. Oh, the other money will be the balance will radio on top 3,000 something. Mona take help people when be say they need life. Then you want to say that will not be the man you will support. Man. There's a parable made by the Benin. Say it go say I no vone ma odi ma asame. Say now the drum we don't fool. Now would they like to pour water join. That is how we can describe some of these people in Edo State. There are not many, very few of them, but they will be drowned. But even when I see some of them make statements, they make comments on Facebook. When I see the response to the statement they make on Facebook, it must say, thank you very much for this thing. The comment section, in fact, they should be hiding themselves in some shame. The Labour leader told me, said, with the way Labour is going in Edo State, he's trying to imagine how any other group can come up to say they want to come and organize rally to support any other person apart from Peter Obi. The only sellable thing right now is Peter Obi. So, personally, like I said, I am still recruiting people. Please, if you are there, you are with me, you are from Edo State, just DM me, inbox me your name and your number. Join the train. When the time we will unveil, we all have a personal commitment to deliver Edo State. So from next month, we're actually going to open the same this thing. We want to open it for Enugu State, for Oyo State, for Lagos State. People that we commit to say, look, I have a personal commitment to deliver Lagos State for Peter Obi. They will now work out how we are going to run it. This will not be Anyway, may we finish PVC first. Election will soon start. This one are just appetizer. Just they try to whet the appetite. Nothing more. That be this one be. We will soon start election now. We will soon start. You know, sir, thank you very much for this, for the stars, man. Thank you so very much. You understand? So, I will not belabor us too much. I've come to just do the two things to assure us that Peter Obi and the Labour Party, they are on track, on the very right track, to get things sorted. You know, with the issue of the running mate of Peter Obi, that will be sorted. We are hoping, you know, very soon, sooner than you know, a lot of people think. On Edo State, for those who are from Edo State like myself, please appeal to you. Grace Ugbelasik, thank you very much for the stars you are sending to us. Thank you. For those who are committed like us, please let's not despair. As a matter of fact, our drum is loudest right now. I think people are just trying to test the depth of waters with their feet. They know that, you know, as far as this process is concerned, the Peter Obi movement is silencing everybody. You understand what I'm saying now? So we are sure. I've already broken it down. If we election host today, right now, Peter Obi will get 98% of the total vote cast in the East. Peter Obi will get over 70% of the total vote cast in the South. In the Southwest, Peter Obi is going to get like 50 to 60% of the total vote cast. Now, we are not going to take the challenge to the North. If at the end of the day we go to across the North, we get the right running mate for Peter Obi, I hope that someone like Kwankwaso can see the greater good and align. The election is done. By December, we should start, you know, pumping the champagne, knowing fully well that this matter is concluded. It's done and dusted. It's done and dusted. All it's going to take for everything to be crystallized now. Make the announcement, Peter Obi has won the election. Finish. So, on the issues of structure, like somebody said, we cannot expect magic. Somebody told me today, and they said, man, look, Labour was not prepared for this tsunami. They didn't know it was going to happen. The people who got less than 10,000 votes in the last general elections, all of a sudden, they have become top contenders. They didn't know. So everything is now falling in place. And I have it from very grapevine. Some of all that, these are big, political fathers. Them maybe say, man, let me say some of them who get good name, okay, but they have seen the trajectory of Nigeria. They just are tired. They want something better. Many of them are now becoming obedient. They may not come out publicly to say, but we have it of very credible information that many of them right now, they are working behind the doors to ensure that Nigeria give a chance to Peter Obi. So let's not be afraid at all. We are on the right part of history. All of us. So Peter Obi is the president of Nigeria. Come rain, come sun. Believe in it, run with it, and don't be afraid and don't be ashamed to proclaim that everywhere you go. I saw a brother who was, I remember those when we were in Nigeria, you know, people used to, do evangelism in buses. This brother was inside a bus. He was evangelizing. Kelly Castro, thank you very much for the stars. He was evangelizing, not preaching Jesus, but he was preaching PVC and preaching Peter Obi. What more can you give to yourself? What more? And look, I was proud. Mary, thank you, man. You sent me another 50 stars. I was proud. He was preaching Peter Obi inside the bus. Inside the bus. The bus was moving. He was preaching the gospel of Peter Obi. Churches right now say, man, if you cannot, if there's a place of work where somebody took his time, say, man, look, if you don't have your PVCs, no salary for you this month. It has come to that level. So we must maximize every opportunity we have. We have the numbers previously, but by the time we take count of people who are qualified for PVC and people who eventually get PVC and those who vote, you find out that less than 1/4 of the people who vote do determine who the leaders are. If you look at the number of people that are supposed to determine, only less than 1/4 are the ones who will determine. Now we want to up that to 3/4. We want to up it to nearly 100%. And let's see what is going to happen at the end of the day. My people, I thank you very much. So for now, strategy-wise, we are still very much on the issue of PVC. Encourage everybody to get their PVC, while we are projecting, Peter Obi as best as we possibly could. We are pushing that narrative. We are not going to change. We are not running from that. Please help share this broadcast. For another thing, I want to encourage everybody, if you are watching our broadcast, please help share, because all the ones they say that social media not get influence, social media not get influence. All of them they go for stay inside their house now. Nobody says social media that they use the chat to talk, say, oh, why Peter Obi not bring running mate? Why Peter Obi not bring? They should have been saying that inside their houses now, isn't it? We are responding to them now because we hear them they talking for social media. But we are going to lock them out of the social media. Social media, Facebook, what's it called? YouTube, what's it called? WhatsApp, everything. We will rule the airwaves. And I tell you, that will ultimately translate into what we want. And for those people in the diaspora, please, let's not be confused. Let's not even look at any of this thing. The fact that we all came together to support Governor Obaseki to become governor of Edo State does not mean we flock to now support PDP for presidency. You all know where we are coming from. Edo people in the diaspora are specifically talking to you. Nobody should confuse us. When we supported the governor of Edo State, we were not wrong. At that time, it was what was required. Right now, the person we require to support, as far as Nigeria is concerned, is Peter Gregory Obi. Nobody should confuse us. Nobody. Our conscience is very clear. We don't know how we take Duam for Governor Obaseki. My entire family, as in the ones who never even born, if they can vote, they will vote for Peter Obi. So my brother, you are in Germany, you are in the US, you are in Canada, you are this or that. You are the community. Because for those of us who are abroad, most of us are the ones who are the breadwinners of our families. Even though we are not breadwinners, we are influential in our families. Now so we'll see they do. So for the ones who can go home eventually and vote, I mean, there's somebody who bought a ticket now. He's going home. This the man is coming from that guy. Where he coming from? I think he's coming from Germany. We talked. He told me, say, get PVC. He thinks maybe the thing go. He's looking to go to Nigeria in December. And I told myself, PVC window is still month end. So he has confirmed that he has bought his ticket. I think he's going to travel next week or so. So he's going to Edo State to go and get his PVC. He wants to be on ground to vote. And he's even happy to go now so that he can help to mobilize a lot more people in his own neighborhood. Whom are we mobilizing for? Peter Gregory Obi. So don't think that this is a joke. Don't come out there. I don't know. I don't want to accuse anybody for saying maybe they collect money. Because when I look at my own case, I don't owe anybody any money. I'm doing everything for my pastor. So I want to believe that maybe some of those who are equally saying Atiku or Tony Okowa probably are doing from their passion. I don't want to say, because people really can be convinced about things and just do. You understand what I'm saying now? But if that conscience now they drive you to mention Atiku Abubakar, you need to give that conscience to us. May we re-examine them, may we reset them. But if now money now they drive you, you will regret seriously. Honestly, you will regret. I don't tell myself I'm not going to be enemy with anybody as far as this process is concerned, but my point will be up and above. My point will be convincing enough. And that is what we are going to use to make sure that President Peter Gregory Obi becomes crystallized as the president of Nigeria come 2023. Nigerians, those State people, this broadcast is for you. Help share this broadcast, please. And if you want to see more of what we are doing, we're going to be doing a lot of things, a lot more. You can follow us, but that one is by choice. But I don't want the sharing matter to be a choice. Make it a matter of compulsion. Share the broadcast, because from your word people will see. If you want to follow, we appreciate. But if you don't want, that one is okay, no problem. But your sharing is about the process, about Nigeria, about Peter Obi, about what we are doing. You understand what I'm saying now? So that's the matter. And if you follow us on Facebook or subscribe to YouTube page, that one, equally click on notification button so you can always see when we are online, because we are just starting. by the time the proper strategy starts. Like I said, I don't belong to Labour. I don't know if I will join Labour, but I am obedient. And whatever I'm doing is independent. And we are organizing our own independent structure, independent of what Labour is doing. But all of us doing everything together to achieve one goal. And that goal is to deliver Peter Gregory Obi as the president of Nigeria in 2023. My people, may God bless you all. May God bless Nigeria. May God bless Peter Gregory Obi. Bye for now. But before I go back, I'm gonna just enjoy this this music. Now this one.
God hates stinginess.
Wanna enjoy one with me?
I don't believe in pride. Want to share money for pride.
Oh yeah.
I don't depend on
Rosemary, thank you.
pray to my God. Always believe in
Please, for you guys that sent us stars, thank you very much. God bless you. We've got about 2,207 stars. Man, it's a milestone. It will all count for something. Thank you so much.
it's better than those that will sail
More than they send us stars, though, if you can, it will help. Well, they push us small.
It's better than those that will sail and waste that currency.
And so,
I just tell you, but the one thing you better pass the one with the carry on back and money go the waste.
and so.
My papa advised me, but I do politics.
But may we enjoy them all.
No matter the pressure, I must tell the truth and lie. Always do my best and leave the rest to God. My fellow Nigerians, the presidency. It's better than those that will sail and waste our currency.
The presidency.
It's better than those that will sail and waste our currency. I just tell you.
Oh,
Comrade Show. Wait. Comrade Lante Oriake. Like us. Follow us. And be the first to know. This is the